Welcome into the official. We are continuing our round one mock of the 2025 freshman class. If you didn't catch the first four picks, go back to the other video and take a look. But we elaborated on why we took Bryce Underwood, number one, DeCorian Moore, wide receiver, headed to Oregon, number two. And then 3 and 4 were quarterbacks. Tavian St. Clair headed to Ohio State. And then David took his homer pick, but also a good pick in Deuce Knight, headed to Notre Dame. Now we're going to go with picks 5, 6, 7, and 8. We'll bring up the mock draft machine here. And I'm going to lead it off with pick number 5. And at this point, I got to take a QB because even though it's deep, I thought maybe that would make you guys be able to wait. But you're not waiting on QB. I can't wait any longer. Give me Husan Longstreet. He's headed to Texas A&M. I think he's got a lot of upside as well. We talked about Deuce Knight with tremendous upside. Longstreet, maybe not athletically as much upside, but he's got a big arm. He's pretty flexible, and I like his potential. I would like to see him get out of that Texas A&M offense and situation, at least as it stands right now. So we'll see what happens with him, but I do like the talent at this point. This far out, I'm okay just kind of betting on talent, not too worried about landing spot. And now we flip it for the 106. Matt, take it away.
Yeah, so we've got 4 QBs off the board already. We've talked about how strong of a quarterback class it is this year. And after the 5th quarterback, I think there is a bit of a drop-off in talent. So I am going to go and snag that 5th guy in Keelan Russell, the most recently 11 winner, committed to Alabama. Surefire CFF stud, pretty much, assuming he becomes a starter there, which I would say he has pretty darn good odds at this point. You can question the NFL ceiling a bit more if you want, but he definitely has it. He's definitely that level of a passer already. It's just, physically, will he get there? Very skinny currently. Pretty good arm, though. Pretty ready to go at this moment. So I am very comfortable betting with him here. And, you'll probably see him maybe go a slot or two even higher in drafts. So I'm pretty happy with this spot with him.
Oh, yeah. Russell's a riser now, and I can't imagine he won't just continue to be a riser in this entire class. So, no issues there with him. I mean, I think that's kind of a steal, but any of these quarterbacks are good picks. All right, rounding it back to you, David, with the 107. What are you doing here? More quarterbacks? Someone's got to take another player.
Yeah, this is becoming a difficult decision for me. Depending on the day, I could go multiple ways with this. I think I'm going to go kind of surprise myself a little bit. I'll go with Caleb Cunningham, I suppose. He's got good athletic upside, and he's going to Alabama. We know they produce receivers. I like the Caleb DeBoer system. So, yeah, it's another upside play and good situation.
All right. So we've got Matt's only going QBs. You've gone QB and QB wide receiver. And now I'm up with the 109, which is going to bring us to the last pick in this little short here for YouTube. We talked him up enough. I feel comfortable going with this guy. Let's do Ousmane Kroma. He's our top running back, and he looks like the guy. We were really excited when we talked about him. I think he's slid down the rankings since we talked about him, but he still has the athletic traits that we like. He still has the tape that we like. And ultimately, a running back of his pedigree is going to probably walk into a running back room and command, carries right away. I'm still pretty comfortable. I think he's one of the few guys in this class you can look at with size, build, skill set. He's a 3-down back. Even though he seems to be slipping, I'm pretty okay with him. And I think, David, you had done something and said he kind of had like what was it? It was a prospect profile similar to a guy who kind of faded in the NFL, was really good in college. And I was like, well, if that's what you get, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, it was Najee Harris. I was comparing they have somewhat similar builds as far as they have 100th percentile wingspan, 6'9" wingspan, which is really crazy for a running back. It's not a perfect comp or anything like that, but somewhat similar body types.
And, that's a great college producer. It's a first round NFL pick. Like, you're not going to go wrong there. Yeah, Harris has not been great in the NFL, but I think his rookie year was definitely startable. So, that's a fine projection. I'm not that worried about it if that's what we say he is. I think he's a pretty good receiver, too. All right, so that rounds out the second set of 4 picks. But before we go, I kind of want to throw you guys a question here. We talked about it a little bit. What are you doing when you're drafting in a draft like this? We have imaginary teams. We don't really have a true college team that we're working off in terms of fantasy. But are you like strictly best player available? That's why we've got so many quarterbacks. Or would you potentially think about team need if you're drafting for real?
So I would say best value available is really not even just best player, because obviously these QBs are going to get boosted up a bit. Just because they are going to retain that value. They're not expected to start year one. That to me, the value is just so much higher than any running back, really, especially like even Usman Chroma, who I have great higher than any running back I have like the past 3 classes. Still I just chose a quarterback who, as a talent, on the scale of QB talent, I don't like him as much on the scale of running back talents as I do Chroma, if that makes sense. But I still took him over him because he is the better value at this stage.
The insulated value is huge for quarterbacks. We know that. I mean, people will buy quarterbacks even if you need to flip them or trade them years down the line. They still believe. David, what are you doing? Would you? I know we don't have a real team to base off, but would you draft a freshman on team need? Like a pipeline situation, or you're just like, give me the best player and we'll figure it out later?
Yeah, I think I'm more BPA type guy. Usually, I'm really just trying to find the guys that check the most boxes for me, and so the guys with the cleanest profiles at the top, I'm going to prioritize those guys, and then after that, I'm just looking for best type situation. I'm never really thinking about positional value and all that too much, honestly.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. It's like, NFL or MLB teams drafting high schoolers, they're just taking the best player. They're not worried about filling their third base, 5 years from now. So I think that makes sense. All right, this has been the official. That was picks 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we will come back with the rest of this first round next video. Be sure and stay tuned as these keep coming out.